Hey everyone! It's day 258 of Ash's Homecoming, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everyone out there. I hope you're having a great day, and I just wanted to get a chance to show you more of my Pokemon collection, and there is so much stuff that we have to do video games today and save the rest for future installments. But here we go, let's check it out. So this is my video game collection built over 20 years. And just so you know, there are a number of these titles that belong to my sister, but we, between the two of us, managed to collect almost every single game ever made for Pokemon, and this is about 95% of all the video games I own. So I am pretty much all in for Pokemon here, but this is the original Game Boy Color that I got back probably 1998, and this is a little light. You can see here when I turn the game on, this little light turns on, so that's kind of cool. And oh, you can see in there was my favorite game, the Pokemon trading card game, I think one of the lesser known classics, but it does a really great job of teaching you the rules for the original trading card game. I played Blue, my sister played Pokemon Red here, the special Pikachu Yellow edition. We have Pokemon Pinball, also a classic. This is actually an unopened Game Boy Color Pikachu edition. You can see it has some characters. Then we have the second gen. I had played through Pokemon Silver primarily, and I think for a lot of people Silver is like one of the best games because you got to go through a new world plus kind of re-experience the first game in the post game. Over here you can see this is one of the original Game Link Game Boy cables. You traded Pokemon via cable, and so you don't want to move too much, otherwise you might disconnect it. And then back here we also have Pokemon Crystal, one of the first times when we had a little bit more color and motion with some of the characters in the game. Now moving on here to kind of the Gen 3 series, I actually skipped completely over the Game Boy Advance. And this was kind of pre-internet days, so it was hard to know what the latest trends were, but this is the Game Boy Advance SP. Ruby, that was the main game I played in Gen 3, and I loved Ruby Sapphire Pinball. Honestly, I played that game probably hundreds of hours. It's kind of insane. And then also Mystery Dungeon, if you remember that one. And some of the other ones, some of these, my sister played Emerald. Emerald was really cool, and so we have some of those boxes back here. Oh my gosh, so many of those boxes. Here we have Generation 4. This was my Nintendo DS with the special Dialga and Palkia front, which is really cool, and this is actually the Japanese version, so at the time it was imported, which is really cool. And then shortly thereafter they did sell them in the US. These are some of the games, actually my sister's games. This was Pokemon Troze, which is really fun, and they've since kind of made some for the 3DS with Battle Troze, which I also had fun playing as a digital download. This is Mystery Dungeon, and these are just some of the earliest games. Side games, this is a Pokemon Dash game, and what's crazy is you have to tap the screen really fast, so don't break your game system when you're playing that one. They were all good, pretty decent spin-off titles there. Diamond and Pearl, I had a lot of fun playing these. I would be interested in seeing a remake, just getting a graphic update, and seeing if they can expand on the story and such. And this is a Platinum. I played through Pearl, and Platinum, this is a pre-order bonus. So when you pre-order it, you get a special figurine, and you'll see some more of these as we go along there. So I always like to do that, see if you can get the free items. These are the Ranger games. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with these, but these are so cool. I love them, all three of them. The way you do the game is you use your stylus to spin in a circle around the Pokemon, and it would actually get really intense. And again, another game you gotta be careful not to break your game system with. And the second half of Gen 4 was, of course, the Heart Gold and Soul Silver games. Those are my pre-order bonus Ho-Oh and Lugia figurines, and I have heard that these particular games have become very expensive because there were not as many printed of them. And it also came with a cool thing called the Poke Walker, basically like a pedometer, and it was cool because you could kind of you could catch Pokemon as they're walking around and get points for walking around, and it was kind of like an early Pokemon Go before we had Pokemon Go. And rounding out the DS Lite era was Generation 5 of Pokemon, Pokemon Black and White, which took us to Unova, which was based on New York, and I played through Pokemon White, and I actually skipped Pokemon Black 2, but I recently acquired it, and I'm working on it, because I'd like to see kind of what that gen was about. I heard there's some cool stuff in it. I thought those were going to be my last Pokemon games. I honestly, at that point, I was in college, and I said, you know what, I don't have time for this stuff. And then my dad decided, to just get me a 3DS. I thought that was going to be the end. And then basically it prompted me to continue playing, and that's okay. This is the special X and Y 3DS with the Yveltal and Xerneas on the front. It's really cool, and I played it so much that I've actually cracked it a whole bunch on the side there. Whoops. And unfortunately, it doesn't quite work so well anymore. The top screen doesn't work, but it's alright. I played through Pokemon Y, and you know what, I always get the second game because I'm thinking, in the future I'll get a chance to replay all these without having to delete the save file. I know some people like to delete the save file and restart the game, but I don't know, it's hard for me to, say, oh, I spent hundreds of hours on that game and then just delete it all. Pokemon Omega Ruby and Omega Sapphire. I did play Omega Ruby through again because for some reason it's tradition, the same way I picked Silver twice, and these were the awesome little pre-order bonuses that came with those games. My 3DS, this one kind of tanked out, so I ended up getting the Sun and Moon Special Edition 3DS, new 3DS with Lunala and Solgaleo, and I've just had such a blast playing Sun and Moon. I'm still kind of playing Sun. I actually think the games are phenomenal. I love the music. I love, of course, the graphics. I had played through Sun, and I had kind of used Moon quite a bit to get additional starter Pokemon and start the game, get those special event downloads, and then transfer them over to this game, and then restart this game and just keep getting more event downloads. So I kind of use this as a dummy game, but I'd love to play through Moon at some point as well. And here are the brand new Ultra Sun and Moon games, which I just picked up here, and I have not had a chance to check them out, but I'm looking forward to it. And finally, rounding out our handheld systems is my one and only case, which, believe it or not, this came with my original Game Boy Color back in 1998, the Costco bonus pack or whatever. It says gotta catch 'em all. I still use it because it's a perfect size. Yay! And just when you thought we were done, we have to now go to the console games, beginning with everyone's favorite Pokemon Stadium, whether it was the 3D battling, but also there's these mini games, and everyone loves the mini games. I recently actually rediscovered Pokemon Stadium 2, which has even more mini games, quite challenging, to be honest, in the number 2 version. This was the Pokemon Stadium box as well. Comes with the Rumble or N64 Transfer Pack. I remember that now because that's how you were able to play your original handheld Game Boy Color games on the TV. The original Smash, which featured Pikachu and I believe Jigglypuff, and we have Pokemon Puzzle League. It's a really cool puzzle game. This is a really fun game as well. This is Hey You Pikachu. I remember playing this in my childhood bedroom. It had like a microphone. Oh look, it's like a little Asian kid. Cool. And basically you talk into the mic and it activates things in the game. It was okay. It was okay. It was a good, Nintendo's always trying to find ways to, expand their horizon. And then, honestly, if not my favorite Pokemon game of all time, it's Pokemon Snap. I'm shocked, I'm stunned that they actually haven't tried to remake this game or make sequels, but basically you go on these little maps and you get to take pictures of Pokemon in 3D, and it was just an incredible game. I'm into photography, and boy, I love playing this game, and it's just something new every time, because you don't know what's going to happen. And just for honorable mention, I'm a big fan of this game, the new Tetris. Spent hours making these cool little blocks and stuff. Moving on to the GameCube. This was probably one of my favorite consoles that Nintendo came out with. And Pokemon Coliseum A lot of people are waiting for this new Pokemon game to come out for the Nintendo Switch next year, but I'm like, hello, what about Colosseum? This was the first time we had an adventure world map game in Pokemon in 3D on a console, and you know, you can only catch like 50 or so Pokemon. You gotta save the Pokemon from the bad team snag 'em. But you know, I love the stylistic choices they made in here, and it's just a little bit darker than everything else. It was produced outside of Game Freak, or in partnership with different companies, so I think that's why it has a cool extra like stylistic motif to it. This is a bonus disc that was pretty much the only way you could get Jirachi. This is what they did before you had Wi-Fi, and if you wanted to get the special Jirachi gift, you had to put this disc in your Game Cube and then use this special thing to connect your Gen 3 game to the GameCube to be able to get this special event Jirachi. So this was kind of the only way to get Jirachi at the time. And then, of course, the sequel to those games, Pokemon XD, a lot of people like this one. It's a big story, and it's just a great game. Awesome game. And then these are our little spin-off games, Smash Bros. Melee, pretty much, if not the most popular party game of all time when I was a kid. And Pokemon Channel, it's okay. It's a game where you watch TV. Pretty redundant, maybe, but, you know, it was cute. I think this was something me and my sister played. We have the Wii games, the Pokemon Wii games, which consisted primarily of Pokemon Battle Revolution, Smash Bros. Brawl, again, another classic, and then finally Poke Park Wii. I'm not gonna lie, the Pokemon Wii games were very disappointing. This is really, for kids, it was kind of, you just kind of go around and you play in a park filled with Pokemon. And then this one, you can battle Pokemon in 3D, but that's about it. There's not really any story. So it just is not, it's no Pokemon XD. Come on, we need more of this, Nintendo. More of those. So I'm really looking forward to the Nintendo Switch game. Nintendo, you know, if you knock that Pokemon game out of the park, you're gonna finally get me to buy a Nintendo Switch. Completely skipped over the Wii U, to be honest. And finally, last but not least, I wanted to show you a whole bunch of these strategy guides. And so we got the Pokemon XD guide. We have the Pokemon Colosseum guide. We have the Stadium guide. And for some reason we have another Stadium guide. Some of these guides may have been inherited from friends or family who passed them on to me. Pokemon Snap guide. This is actually really important because there's a whole bunch of unlockables in that game. And oh my gosh, there's so much you can do. But the guide definitely helps you achieve some of these absolutely insane secrets in the game. This is my latest guide, brand new, not even opened yet. And here's the thing, I actually now play the games without the guide. And I kind of just use the guide to go back and see what I missed. This is the Pokemon X and Y manual. This one's interesting because it was shaped more just like a regular book. It didn't have this big, but to be honest, it doesn't stay open very good. So it's hard to use this one. Pokemon Black and White. I didn't have a car at the time, so when these came out, I took the bus to go pick it up. That's for Gen 5. This is Gen 4 Pokedex. This is the Pokemon Heart Gold Soul Silver book. And again, I love the remakes. I love the originals, but I also love Soul Silver. Gen 4. I'm looking forward maybe to seeing some Diamond and Pearl remakes on the horizon, maybe. But you know what? If they want to keep being original, that's great too. Fire Red Leaf Green. Love that one. The Crystal Guide. The Sapphire and Ruby guide. It actually came with a free poster, which you're going to see at the in some of my other videos. It's been hanging on my wall for 15 years. This Gold and Silver guide, oh my gosh, you can actually see how much love it's gotten, because I carried this with me wherever I went when I was a kid. We have the Pokemon Yellow guide. We have, I guess this is a guide for all 3 editions. And last but not least is the original guide, the first guide I ever got, with that Costco bonus pack, and the bag, and and the Game Boy Color there, and you can see the sprites of the stickers. All the in-game sprites, they're all there, which is really cool. All the classics. So, yeah, this is my collection. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it didn't blow your mind too much. This is a awesome marching band Pikachu that my sister picked up for me when she visited Japan. So again, thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and see you again soon. It's gonna be the very best, like no film ever was. Hey, thanks so much for watching, and I'm super excited to tell you about my Pokemon fan film, Ash's Homecoming, featuring a live-action cast with Ash, Misty, Brock, and all of your favorite characters from the show, all grown up now. I hope you get a chance to subscribe so you'll see that in 2018. You can see some of our other films right over here, and you can see our progress on Ash's Homecoming all over here. So, make sure you do that, okay? It's gonna be the very best, like no film ever was. Thanks. Bye.